Hey y'all. So it's me, Tessa from Tessa's Tarot, your favorite tarot reader, coming to give you some energy for this Friday. So you know what to do. Go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell so you'll know when a new video comes out. For all your coffee and glam needs, visit www.theglamcafe.com. If you like a personal reading / coaching, my information's in the description box. And let's get into this. So I got some readings to do today. So I wasn't gonna read for the morning sip. But I've been looking at the comments. And baby, these Aries got y'all these Aries got y'all in a chokehold. I don't know what it is about Gemini and these fire signs. I don't know what it is. Specifically Aries. They are a mess. They really are. I would have to say they are probably my favorite out of the fire signs, Aries and then Leos. I had two very, very good relationships with an Aries and a Leo. I don't have much to say about Sagittarius. I mean, I hear people saying things about them, but I've never dated a Sagittarius. And I think I know just one sun sign male, Sagittarius. And he's a cool dude, fun to be around. But I don't know anything about him, like, you know, as far as in a relationship. But I know a lot about Aries because Gemini and Aries are very similar in our energies. Very young. Aries are the babies of the zodiac. They're first. Okay. So, you know, just very babyish. Geminis are also a very young energy, forever young. Geminis can be older in age, but their spirit, you know, is just very young. We tend to look young, younger than our age, and so does Aries. So there's a lot of similarities. So the frustration is so funny because they say that, I think they say Sagittarius is our opposite sign. But I find that Aries and Geminis mirror each other a whole lot in the way that we deal with other people. Like the way that people talk bad about Geminis and really have all kinds of issues with us and the way that we relate to the world and relate to other people, especially in love relationships. It's the same thing in the way that y'all are speaking about these Aries. I just thought that was funny. So what's the energy around Gemini today? Heart chakra. Okay. Heart chakra. What else? It's going to be a quick read. Oh, okay. So our weekly affirmation was, I receive an opportunity to make money every day. So we've been saying that since I think Monday. Some of y'all want to detach from something, but your heart won't let you. Detach came out in reverse. So our weekly affirmation was, I receive an opportunity to make money every single day or something like that. Okay. So I've been saying it a couple of times a day. I say it or I think it. And yesterday evening, I got an email for a sponsorship for the channel, for the tarot channel. So I'm vetting that right now to see what the details are and that type of thing. So you see what I mean? And I think they want like a 30-second promo video or something, and they're talking about they'll pay me $1,500 to do that, to play it on my channel, whatever video they're talking about. So $1,500 for 30 seconds. Okay, so that is what I mean about the power of affirmation. People ask me all the time, do you believe your affirmations? Half the time, hell no. I just be saying it. I say it no matter what. Say it no matter what I see. If I don't see nothing, I still say it. Because you'll start to believe. See, that's how you strengthen your faith. Okay? That's how you strengthen your faith in the process. Because, and a lot of you guys should start off with something that you don't really care about. Something that if it shows up, great. And if it doesn't, great. It ain't gonna, like, you're not really emotionally attached to it. Because once you see that you've created that with your mouth and your thoughts or whatever, then that'll give you the the faith to go on to bigger things. A lot of y'all don't really believe in it, and I get it. I get it. And I get why. A lot of what I say to you guys is far-fetched to a lot of you, especially if you're not into manifesting or you've never done manifestation. But when you start off small and you start to see things happen, it builds your faith. And then you know exactly what you have to do in order to make it come in. Now, the things that you are emotionally attached to, or the things that you have a lot of resistance around, like, let's just say for you guys that are attached to these Aries and you're trying to manifest them in, and you're typing out your whole entire story about how this person plays games with you, and this person, and I'm gonna use one person as an example. Her comment is in my comments. It's long, but that's when I be talking about not being in the old story. Okay, so I know you were just telling me that the reading yesterday was for you, and I get that. And if you're not manifesting this person in, if you're not trying to, then cool. Okay. But I'm going to use her situation as the lesson here, that every time you relive, every time you type that old story out, every time you're telling that old story to people, you are reaffirming that you're not in the new story, for those of you guys who are trying to manifest your person back in. So I don't have her comment up, but I remember bits and pieces. And I know she said that he played games with her. He played games with her. The communication wasn't constant. That he flaked out on her a couple times when they were going to meet up. So how can you take that and create your affirmations, your thoughts, your new thoughts? Because see, an affirmation is nothing but a thought. When that subject comes up, I'm giving you, or you give yourself, a set of preset thoughts that you're going to think. So you're not going to think about how they played with you. You ain't going to think about how they ghosted you and didn't communicate with you. You're not going to think about how this person flirts with other people in front of you and this and that. You're not going to think about that. When that person comes to your mind, your thoughts should be, so this person played games with you. This person is always honest and upfront with me. They've always been honest and upfront with me. They always are honest and upfront with me. The communication was lacking. They are always calling me. They call me every day. They're always texting me. They love to talk to me. I am their favorite person. They love talking to me. I am the only person they want to talk to. Okay. Just depends on how, sassy you want to get with it. What else? He flaked out on you. This person loves to keep plans. This person loves taking me out. This person takes me out all the time. We go out every Friday. Whatever. Okay. This person loves hanging out with me. The flirting. This person wants me and only me. They like me and only me. They love me and only me. They're attracted to me and only me. Okay. That is the new story. So that's what I'd be saying. Sit down and write out your old story just this once. You know what you should do? For those of you guys who practice, because some of you guys probably practice spell work, okay? But even if you don't, sit down and write out your old story, right? You could do this on a full moon, but you don't have to wait for a full moon. Let me say that, because it's the belief in that. See, a full moon is for releasing, right? But it's the collective belief that that's what a full moon is for. Why that works, because we collectively, as a collective, people who believe in spirituality and believe in working by the moon cycles, you will hear most people say a full moon is for releasing. If 80 million people believe that the full moon is for releasing, then that is why releasing on a full moon works. It's a collective consciousness. Okay. So you could wait for a full moon. I think we just had one, so you're going to be waiting a while. Because I think we just had one, like last Friday or something. Full moon in Virgo or something. I can't remember. Because I manifest whenever I want. I don't wait on moon cycles. But you can wait for a full moon, or you don't have to. But sit down and write out the old story. Okay? On a piece of paper. Sit down and write it out. And then burn it. And that's symbolically, that is performative. You are symbolically releasing, getting rid of that old story. Okay. That is how you release on a full moon. You will write down everything you're trying to release. and you would burn that piece of paper and then blow the ashes away. Okay, and that is symbolically you releasing that. You could do that same thing here, because it's not, I mean, it's not like something that could bring a demon in your house or anything. It's just, it's symbolic, it's performative. Okay, because then you're seeing yourself release this story, this old story. Okay, then what I would do is I would sit down and I would write out how things are gonna be, or how I would want them to be. So let's just say, you know, Joe is so in love with me. You know, he talks to me all day, every day. He calls me all the time. You know, he's always taking me out, and we have such a good time together, and he has eyes only for me, and he's so attracted to me. And I would write out this whole story, right? And what I would do is I would still have 3 or 4 affirmations, like, you know, Joe is constantly contacting me. Joe wants me and only me. We've always been in a loyal, faithful, committed relationship. So that when Joe popped into my mind, whenever I think about Joe, those would be the thoughts that I would have. Okay, those would be the thoughts that I would use in reference to Joe. But then I would also, a couple times a day, read that story that I wrote. I would read over that story a couple times a day. If you want to read over 100 times a day, whatever. But at least twice. Once in the morning, once when you go to sleep, I would read over that. Okay. And watch the shift. Okay. Watch the shift. The key is to not react when you see stuff. Because it doesn't, when you see, so say you're doing this and then you go somewhere and you see Joe out with a girl. Well, you always thought, see, for the longest time, you thought Joe was messing with other people anyway. So it's not that your manifestation is not working. It is just that those thoughts that you used to have about Joe still are going to play out. They still have to play out. Okay. You know, I feel like when you get really good at this, you probably could manifest instantly. But just think about if every single thought that you have manifested instantly, you'd have chaos for real. So it's about what's dominant. So for 6 months you dominantly thought that Joe was a dog and was messing with all kind of girls, and then you start manifesting this person in, and you start following what I just said, and you go somewhere and see Joe, it's not that your manifestation isn't working. It's just that them thoughts from 6 months ago, they still have to play out. So the trick is not reacting to what you see. Because Joe wants me and only, I don't care because Joe here with a girl. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Okay. I don't know why I went off on that, but embrace. I hope that helps somebody. Okay. So this is why my videos don't be, this is why YouTube don't pick up my videos like they used to, because my videos be so long. So long. And let's see. So you got heart chakra, detach and reverse, and embrace. So I feel like there's something that you just need to embrace. I just cut the deck. Ace of Cups. I feel like you need to embrace. See, some of y'all get in my comments and be saying, oh, you can't stand this person. You ain't never going back and blah, blah, blah. And like I always say, you're actually sitting here listening to a love reading about this person. So how can you not want this person, but you listening to a reading about how they feel about you and their next intentions? Or you're listening to a reading about what they want to confess to you. How does that work? But okay. Some of y'all need to embrace the fact that this person, you don't want to let this person go, really. It's just that you don't see any other way. You feel like you have to let this person go because it's just not going to work. For whatever reasons. And if you assume that, then it will not work. Okay. But I feel like, just be honest. Just be honest and say to yourself, I'm letting this person go. I still care about this person, or I still love this person, but I'm just going to let this person go because I just feel like it can't work between us. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Some of y'all heart is at odds. I feel like your heart is at odds with your mind. Okay, your mind is telling you that you should let this go, or that this person don't want to be with you, or that you don't want to be with them because you need to just move on because they ain't gonna be trying you and the blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? But your heart feels something different. I feel like your heart is at odds. Is at odds with your mind, Leo energy. Clarify the Five of Wands. Yeah. I feel like on one end, like I just got done saying, on one end, you want to let this go. I feel like all the conflict that has happened or that is going on with you and this person right now, you feel like you need to let it go, or that you should just let it end, Scorpio energy. This is the second or third day that the death card has come up in terms of some kind of emotional situation. This came out on the heart chakra. So I think that was just yesterday's reading when I said it was a real finality energy in that reading. On both ends, on your end and this person's end. One of these days, I'm going to make a video about everyone is you pushed out, and I'm going to put it on the manifestation channel. But you can't seem to let it go, okay? Because I want you to understand that people are going to mirror the way that you are. So if you're giving off, if your assumption is that this is over, then the person is going to mirror that to you. I'm going to do it on a different video because this video is going to be too long, okay? So there's definite conflict here. Definite conflict here. Internal conflict, I feel like. The death card, you feel like you should let it go. Or I want to let it go. Your heart may be saying let it go, but you can't. Gemini energy, you can't. You feel trapped. You feel trapped in what you feel for this person. And you also may feel trapped in your thoughts with this person. Because really, you really want to work with this person. You really want to work with this person. You really want to work together with this person, okay? Three of Pentacles, Capricorn energy. Clarify, detach, and reverse. I got some new cards coming. I can't wait for the new cards to come. Give us a different perspective. Okay. Some of you guys may detach from this situation by throwing yourselves into work. Okay. Some of you guys may try to detach by throwing yourself into a different relationship. Some of you guys are really making plans to be in a different relationship. Okay. But I still see you holding on. I still see somebody holding on here. Holding on. The last little branch. Still holding on. Still wondering. Okay. So some of y'all are making plans. Y'all are actively making plans to move on. Actively making plans to move on. And this will be your way of detaching from this person. Or detaching from this situation. Okay. Ace of Cups. Some of you guys are going to have a new person come in. And you're going to use that. And I hate to say it, but you're going to use that as a distraction. 10 of Pentacles. You may be working on some kind of long-term projects or long-term contracts or just long-term wealth. Okay. But some of you are working on something that's going to bring you a long-term commitment. And this will be the way that you detach from this person. Okay. You're actively planning this. You're actively planning this. Two of Wands, Aries energy. But somebody here still holding on. By the last little stick. Still trying to hold on. Sagittarius energy. Virgo energy out here. And 8 of Pentacles. Virgo energy. So 8 and 10 of Pentacles, Virgo. Bottom of the deck, Hangman. Embrace. I feel like some of you guys need to embrace a new way of thinking when it comes to this. That you actually do not have to give up what it is that you want. You don't have to. You don't have to. And it's really, social media has really done a number on what it is that we, you know, because we went through this whole girl power movement where we don't let no man mistreat us and blah. And I get all that. I get all that. I truly get all that, because if you're not in the right mindset, like the mindset I'm describing, then yeah, you will get run over by these men. You definitely will. You definitely will. But it's because of the assumptions that our environment, that media, social media has created around relationship. I mean, really sit down and think about what you assume when it comes to men, women, and or relationships. And that will show you what your problem is and what you need to change. And I fall into it. I have to actively work on it myself. Because like I said, for you guys that have been following me a long time, I told you that, men that I trusted in my family always told me that you want a man that's going to provide because they're going to cheat anyway. So you better get somebody who is going to provide for you financially, no matter what he's doing in the streets. And they thought that they were doing a good thing by telling me that. So as I started dating, I always had a man take care of me. I always did. I never had a problem attracting a man who was going to take care of me. I never had to ask for anything. These men just knew upon meeting me that, okay, this is what's going to take to be with her. But they would always cheat because that was the assumption that I had. Because that's what men, who better than to believe than another man, right? Because they always told me that, you want somebody's going to take care of you because they're going to cheat anyway. And this was a good one. But if they love you, they won't let it affect your home. So those were things that I, took from my environment, took from other people. And those were the assumptions I had about men and relationships at that time. And so those things played out because that's what I assumed would happen. So when people say, oh, I knew that was going to happen. Well, because you assumed it into happening. That's how you knew. Because you made it happen by your thoughts. You made it happen. I feel like some of you need to embrace a different perspective. Embrace a different perspective. A different way of doing things. Okay? Pisces energy. Clarify this. Amen. Instead of walking away from the person, 8 of Cups. I just feel like this is embracing a new way of thinking instead of walking away from the person. Because you actually feel like, and this person probably actually feels like you guys are soulmates. Or you guys are supposed to be together, okay? You actually, listen. When heart chakra is the first thing that pops out, and then I see conflict, I already know that there's a war going on between your head and your heart. I already know it, okay? So instead of just walking away, because how is it, you ever see those people or those videos where the woman is like, oh, I was with him for 10 years and then he met this new and he cheated on me the whole time and a blah, blah, blah and a blip, blip and a whatever happened. And then he met this new girl and he married her in 3 months and did everything that I wanted him to do. You ever see that? You know why that was? Because that person that he was with for 10 years had a certain assumption about that relationship and how that relationship was going to go. So he had to show up that way. This new person that they met didn't have them assumptions about them. They had just met them. So most of the time when you meet somebody new, this is what you should assume. This is what you should assume. But most of us don't do the past experiences. We assume the same thing about this person that we did the previous person. And then you'll say, well, I keep dating the same man over and over again. Who is the common denominator in that? If this is 3 different men that then dated you and they all acted the same way, it is you. It is it is your assumptions about men or women and relationships and how they work. It is you. I'm going to do a video about that today, about everyone is you pushed out. It is you. You are the common denominator in that. Okay? What should happen is when you meet a new person, you should always think stuff that's going to be to your benefit. Like I always say, if you got to think something, at least let it benefit you. Okay, so when I meet somebody new, oh, this person going to fall in love with me so easy. Men always fall in love with me. Men can never get enough of me. They always want to why do they be wanting to commit to me so soon? Stuff like that. That's what happened with that. This, when they met that new person and in 3 months they married them, it's because that person had a different assumption about how their relationship and how they were going to be treated by this person, and so it happened that way. Okay, give me more on embrace. It's about seeing the reality, and I feel like, what was at the bottom of this deck? Queen of Wands. It is about making your own reality. Like I said, write down how you want something to go. Anything. It could be a job, any damn thing, your business, and read it every single day, multiple times a day, and watch how that gets into your subconscious. And then when somebody asks you about it, you're gonna automatically think back to that script that you've been reading, and those are gonna become your automatic thoughts about it. That's when you know you in the flow, if you ask me. When the thoughts that I've consciously given myself start to pop up in relation to a certain subject, that's when I know I'm in the flow. So the object is to get it in there as quickly as possible to get into that flow. Okay. I feel like with the 7 of Cups in reverse, Scorpio energy, and this Queen of Wands, it's about creating your own reality. Okay? Seeing things the way you want to see them, and then creating it. Because see, this Queen of Wands, like I always tell y'all, this Queen of Wands to me is the witchiest queen in the deck. Queen of Wands, and then behind that, the Queen of Cups. Okay? But this Queen of Wands is a manifester. So she's creating her own reality the way she wants it. Not the way people feel like it should be. Not the way your environment told you it should be. Not the way that these other teachers and mentors and all that, not their limited belief or not their limited way of doing things, but creating things the way that you want them to be. You don't have to walk away. You just have to see it from a different perspective. You have to look at it from a different way. Okay, embrace a different mindset when it comes to love and relationships, instead of just walking away and throwing your hands up. Okay, because you don't have to. You don't have to. Now, some of y'all are so deeply, for some of you, I'm just gonna be honest with you. For some of you, it would benefit you to move on and find somebody else and start fresh, using what I'm telling you, because you don't have any preconceived ideas about this new person because they ain't done nothing to you yet. Okay, so it will be easier for you to manifest somebody new, because like I keep saying, it sounds easy when I'm telling you how to do it, and it really is. Once you get into it and see how it works, it really is easy. Okay, but some of you are so emotionally scarred, some of you are so emotionally invested in this situation that every little thing that this person does is going to send you into a spiral. And you have to stand strong. You have to stand on what it is that you're manifesting on. That is the work. The work is staying in the new story when everything is happening around you is the complete opposite of what you're manifesting. That is the work. That's the work. That's the hard work. So for some of you guys, I'm not even going to lie to you. I can tell by your comments. It will benefit you to meet somebody new and then assume your way into a great relationship with that person. Manifest your way into a great relationship with that person from the beginning, because like I said, you don't have any preconceived ideas about that person. But for others of you guys that truly understand that you are limitless and you can create the best version of that person and have them show up, for those of you guys that really believe that, then, you know, stick with it. But some of y'all just some of y'all are just too, some of y'all it would benefit you to just start over with somebody else. Let's get an angel message. Okay. Improving health. So some of y'all, but you know what? With that improving health, I honestly don't think it's physical health. It could be, but it could be mental health. I feel like once you start looking and applying what I'm saying to any aspect of your life, you could sit down and write a script about how your business goes. Oh, let's just say you sell, what people be selling? Let's say you sell lashes. Oh, everybody just loves my lashes. My customers tell everybody that they know that I have the best lashes. I am their favorite lash person. I am their favorite lash business or lash product. Or say you're somebody that does individuals. They love coming to me to get their lashes done. I have so many appointments every single day. My day is overflowing with new orders and new clients and new customers. So write that script out. I make $10,000 a day. I make $10,000 a month. People line up to use my products, and just write it all down. Okay? And every day. So you may have affirmations for your business. My business is successful. I am everyone's favorite. People love purchasing from me. Let's just say those are your 3 affirmations. So when the thought of your business come up, those are the thoughts that you give yourself to think. But you also have this script that you may read out loud, read silently, whatever, but you read it at minimum twice a day, morning and night. Okay? Me, if I was really trying to get that script in there, I would be reading it every chance I got, but that's just me. Because I like to be fast with it. I don't want to wait. So, let's just say you do that and then watch the shift. I guarantee you stuff will start to shift. Because your dominant thoughts would then be that script and then whatever affirmations that you have set when you think about your business. So I feel like with improving health and recovery, I feel like it's about a mindset. Improving of your mental health. Recovery of the mindset that you may have. Okay? It could be physical health. I'm not going to say it's not. But with it coming out and what I'm talking about here this morning, I feel like it is mental health. Okay. So Gemini, I hope this reading was helpful for you. Go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell so you'll know when a new video comes out. For all your coffee and glam needs, visit www.theglamcafe.com. If you like a personal reading / coaching, my information is in the description box. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye.